Okay, so we all want more reviews, right? Of course we do. But what if I told you that the way you're asking might actually be doing more harm than good? Yeah. Today, we're going to break down how to get those all important reviews the right way, ethically, and maybe even more crucially, safely. And hey, let's get one thing straight right off the bat. Wanting more reviews, that's not some vanity project. It's absolutely vital for business today, right? They pump up your visibility, they build that instant credibility, and really, they're like the big bright signs that point new customers right to you. But here's where it gets a little tricky. See, it's not just about the end goal of getting more reviews. Nope, it's all about the journey you take to get there. The how is so important, because if you take a wrong turn, you could be quietly torpedoing your own reputation without even realizing it. And this right here, this is the classic mistake. It's a dangerous trade-off that, honestly, so many businesses fall into. You chase after these tricks that make your review numbers soar, which feels great for a minute. But look at the cost. You're trading away customer trust. You're basically taking a sledgehammer to the very foundation of your business. Which brings us perfectly to our first major point. It's all about trust over volume. Always. Because the real magic of a review isn't the 5-star graphic. It's the belief, the credibility, that it's real.
Yeah, this quote just nails it. Think of trust like money. It's your review currency. The second a potential customer gets even a tiny whiff that your reviews are fake or forced, that currency becomes totally worthless. Poof, gone. So the goal isn't just getting more reviews, it's getting more believable reviews.
Okay, so if trust is this super important thing, why do so many people mess it up? Well, honestly, it usually comes down to just being impatient. You want results now. So you start looking for those quick fixes, those shortcuts, and that is where things get really dangerous. And here they are, the usual suspects. Buying fake reviews, asking your buddies who've never even been a customer, or twisting someone's arm for a 5-star rating. Each one of these feels like a smart little hack in the moment, a quick win. But what you're really doing is putting tiny little cracks in that foundation of trust. You're building a public image that's just, it's a fantasy. Look, here's the bottom line. These shortcuts, they might give you a nice little bump for a week or two. But in the long run, you're causing serious, deep damage to the most valuable thing you have, your reputation. Trust me, the risk is never worth the reward. And all of this really comes back to the customer's experience, The whole interaction, from start to finish, should feel like a polite, no-big-deal invitation. It should never feel like you've backed them into a corner demanding praise. Just look at the difference here. The feeling is night and day. On the one hand, pressure, it makes people feel managed, forced, even trapped. But an invitation, that feels polite, easy, and respectful. And here's the funny thing. It's a bit of a paradox, really. When you make it super easy and totally okay for someone to say, no thanks, they're way more likely to say, sure, I'd be happy to. This quote is the exact mindset you want to get into. Your request is just saying, hey, we valued your business. And if you feel like sharing your experience, here's a super simple way to do it. It's not about demanding a 5-star review. And that tiny shift in your tone, it protects your whole relationship with that customer. Okay, let's talk about another big trap people fall into. This obsession with perfection. We've all been trained to think that anything less than a perfect 5-star profile is a failure. But you know what? That's not what smart customers are actually looking for. Just think about it for a second. If you see a business with thousands of reviews, and every single one is a gushing, perfect 5-star rating, does that feel real to you? Probably not. A profile that has a natural mix, some 5 stars, a bunch of 4 stars, maybe even a 3-star here and there with a good response, that feels way more authentic. It feels human. And this whole idea, it has a name. We call it authentic credibility. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the trust you get when your review profile looks like it was written by real, actual human customers. This is what you're aiming for, because authentic credibility is the one thing you absolutely cannot fake. So, the big question is, how do you get it? How do you build this authentic credibility? It all starts with the major shift in how you think about this. Your job is not to manufacture reviews. It's simply to enable feedback. And when you look at it through that lens, the whole process becomes so simple. Step 1, a customer has a genuine experience. Step 2, you offer them a super easy, no-hassle way to talk about it. And step 3, they share what they honestly think. That's it.
No funny business, no pressure. Just a simple, honest process.
So just remember this one thing. It is not your job to invent the feedback. It's not your job to control it. Your only job is to make it easy. Just remove the friction. That's your entire role in this.
All right, this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, and honestly, it might be the most important one. We're talking about consistency. The best, safest, and most effective way to do this isn't some big, flashy review campaign. It's building a slow, steady, and consistent process that just runs in the background. Take a look at this. You see this jagged, spiky line? When a business that gets a few reviews a month suddenly gets 100 in 1 week, that sets off all kinds of red flags. Not just for platforms like Google, but for real people looking at it. It just feels off. It feels unnatural, suspicious even. Now look at this one instead. A nice, smooth, steady upward curve. This looks and feels right. It looks like a real business, growing at a normal pace. And that visual, that feeling of organic growth, it builds a ton of trust without you even having to say a word. And that, my friends, is the real power of being consistent. It protects you because it looks real, because it is real. It's the quiet, steady proof that your reviews are coming from actual customers, day in and day out. So, let's wrap this all up. It really comes down to these 4 pillars for safe, ethical review growth. Number 1, prioritize trust over the sheer number of reviews. Number 2, invite, don't pressure. Number 3, go for real, not perfect. And number 4, build a consistent process that you can stick with. Because at the end of the day, it really is that simple. A trustworthy system, one built on a solid foundation of honesty, is always going to beat an artificial one built on a house of cards. No question. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Take a hard look at your own process. Is it really designed to protect that trust for the long haul? Or is it taking shortcuts,